All right, good morning, everybody. It's 9 o'clock, and so we're going to get started with our meeting today because we have a jam-packed agenda. We're going to get this done in 1 hour. Thanks to everyone for being with us this morning for our Teamsters No on 22 virtual rally. We had over 500 Teamster members that registered for this meeting. We're getting up close to 200 on right now. We know we're going to have more people with us, but we want to get started right away. I'm Jason Rabinowitz. I'm Secretary Treasurer, Teamsters Local 2010. And I want to start our program off by introducing a very special guest, the leader of our international union, who's provided so much leadership on so many issues, but including on the fight against Prop 22. The International Union has stepped up and supported the efforts of the joint councils. When we see these commercials, we're glad to see that it says sponsored by International Brotherhood of Teamsters. That's because the international and the joint councils and the locals have stepped up. And we want to thank everybody. We want to thank General President Jim Hoffa for the support. So without any more ado, I want to turn the floor over to International Brotherhood of Teamsters General President Jim Hoffa.
Well, thank you, Jason, and welcome, and thank you, and good to talk to all of our friends in California. What a battle we have on our hands. You know, Prop 22 undermines everything we're doing. I want to thank Joint Council 42, Randy Kamak, Joint Council 7, Roma Lois. I want to thank Ron Herrera, head of the LA Fed, and also our great vice president for all the work that they're doing to rally everybody in California to make sure we defeat this ugly, ugly bill. This bill is about every Teamster. It's about our jobs. You know, we've only got 17 days, 408 hours until this happens. So we've got to go out and make sure everybody votes. That's the biggest thing. So if you're going to vote, make sure you vote. Take somebody from your household, take your wife, take your family. If your kids are old enough, have them vote. Everybody's got to vote to make sure we protect our jobs. You know, everybody knows what the gig economy is. It's basically making people work harder for less money. No overtime, no paid vacation, no health care, no nothing. You know, basically, they're taking away everything. No unemployment, no workman's comp. They're putting all of that burden on the gig economy worker. And that's what they plan to do with everybody else in California. Now, they're putting a lot of money into this race, and we know that. They put it over $185 million, somebody said. Well, they got more money than us, but we've also got the people of California. And they've got to understand that California is not for sale. You can't buy this thing. And people are going to go to the polls. They're going to say no on this proposition so we can have, you know, justice for workers in California. It's a big, big job, and everybody can do their job by going out and voting. And where the Teamsters are united on this. The IBT has put in a lot of money to help. And basically the call we got from Randy and Rome and Herrera are, we got to do this. We got to get this money in. We got to make sure we win. So I want you to know we got your backs. We're here in this fight, and we're going to win this thing all the way. And I appreciate all you're doing, and make sure the biggest thing you can do is vote, vote, vote. I'm in Michigan right now. I've already voted, and make sure if you're going to do it by an absentee ballot, get it in early. Don't wait. If you're going to make a plan to vote so nothing can interfere with it, take somebody with you. Don't go alone when you vote. These are the things we're going to do to have justice and to make sure we beat Prop 22. No on Prop 22. So with that being said, let's do it. Let's stay safe. Let's stay united. And most of all, say Teamster strong. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, General President Hoffa. We appreciate you being with us today, and we appreciate your leadership. Thank you very much. Before our next speaker, we're going to see a video that the State Federation of Labor put on. Let's take a look.
Did you know that Proposition 22 was written by Uber and Lyft to cheat workers out of basic protections? Prop 22 was an attack on union jobs and working people, funded by billionaire corporations and CEOs. Your union urges a no vote on Prop 22.
All right, thank you. Next up is our leader of Joint Council 42, Randy Kamak, and we want to thank Randy for his leadership on this issue. Joint Council 42 has stepped up thanks to Randy's leadership, all the locals and the Joint Council. And so I'm going to turn the floor over to President Randy Kamak. Randy?
Yeah, thank you, Jason. First of all, I wanted to thank our General President for his tremendous support on this issue. When our two joint councils first reached out and said, Jen, we're going to need a lot of money to defeat this and play our part with the labor movement. And so we're probably going to need a couple $1 million bucks. So you can imagine how that went over initially. But once he realized the tremendous effect of what's happening here in California would have throughout the country, but this is really a protocol for what will happen throughout all of the states. The app-based enterprise. Let me say a little bit about AB 5 was passed with Teamsters support. We've been fighting misclassification of independent contractors for the last 30 years at least. And this bill was introduced by a Teamster member, Lorena Gonzalez, who's an assemblywoman in California, who was a member of Local 36 in San Diego for many years. And it was difficult passing it. And as we saw that the Uber and Lyft and app-based gig economy folks were eating away at the jobs in our core industries, and this was a great victory for the House of Labor and for the Teamsters in general. And then the introduction of this Prop 22 basically guts all of the hard work that we've done in the House of Labor in California to have some of the finest labor laws, some of the greatest protections for workers anywhere in this country. This guts that. It allows employers to use a misclassification worker to do our work, to do our members' work. And already some of our current employers are looking at this and have started to do the same kind of thing. You've got UPS just opened a company called Live. It's an app-based same-day delivery. They're all looking. They have Coyote Logistics, our freight companies have app. They could switch to app-based in a minute. If this passes, we're going to see a transformation of the work that we proudly had our members perform, to see some bullshit app-based guy doing it for nothing. And let me say this: one of the fastest growing freight companies here in the United States is Uber Freight, app-based. You know, it's going to affect every classification. The potential for this is horrendous. And the way we can defeat this, the way that we've defeated propositions here in California before, Prop 226, nobody thought we could beat it. But the House of Labor rose up and took a strong position. Prop 32, precursor of right to work, we defeated it. We can defeat this even though our resources are limited. You know, 200 million bucks for whatever money we've got, which is minimal, even with the great contributions been made by labor. Well, resource we have that they don't is the membership, the great leadership here in California that are fighting hard and continuing to communicate to our overall membership, which is 250,000 folks plus, not counting the family. If we reach out, people use their Facebook, their social media to say vote no, is really protecting the future for working folks here in California. So please, please, in my 54 years, I've never seen such a bullshit proposition, and you can beat it if you vote, and you vote no in Prop 22. Thank you, and God bless the Teamsters.
Well, thank you, Randy. Now we're going to take a look at, we've got so many great videos now. We're going to show the next one before our next speaker.
guys. I'm Gino Sanchez from Teamsters Local 431.
Hi, I'm Roger Shire, UPS driver.
Hello, my name is Gino. I'm Gerard Stelter. Prop 22 shifts the risk of being a business owner to the worker.
Under Prop 22, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Amazon will have to follow the same rules as other businesses.
Vote no on Prop 22.
Vote no on Prop 22.
Vote no on Prop 22.
Thanks to Local 431, Pete Nunez, and the members that have put out so much great video content out of that local. I think the local doubles as a video production company at this point, but it's as good as anything that's come out on Prop 22. So thanks for what you've done. Our next speaker is the great leader of Joint Council 7, who's provided leadership on this issue and so many others. I want to turn the floor over to Joint Council 7 President Rome Alois. Rome.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you introducing me, and thank you, Jim Hoffa, for being on this morning. It's an honor to have you on this, which is a fairly unprecedented call between both joint councils, and we appreciate it very much. You taking your time to be on this and working with us on Prop 22. And I echo what Randy said about the contributions from the IBT. I think we're asking for a little bit more besides, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'm going to take this from a little bit different perspective and try to make my remarks fairly brief. But one of the things I hear from our members when we're talking to them about Prop 22 is these commercials have made people believe that there can't be this type of an entity or this function if Prop 22 doesn't pass, that it'll go away, that you can't have flexibility and be an employee. Well, I've dealt directly with these companies. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've had numerous meetings with Uber and Lyft to try to figure a way to make this work in a union environment, but more importantly, in an employee environment, not in an independent contractor environment, because we see the risk to our companies. We have over 300,000 UPS members in our union, and they are threatened by this proposition because what happens in California will pass and go throughout the United States. We have laws in California, AB 5, that protect against this. There's not much else covering other states. So if they can get this passed in California and make it almost impossible to change with that 7/8 provision in this proposition, it's going to spread. And the UPS is already gearing up to make this change. And we're going to see it happen in many, many other companies. I can tell you that when we met with Uber and Lyft over a period of a long time, that these companies can operate with these people being employees. They can have the same flexibility. They can do the same work. They're just going to cost a little bit more. And yeah, it might cost the riders a little bit more money, but hey, we're supporting an economy here. You know, we don't get anything for free in this world. And if you want a society where people can make a living and people can survive and people can have a home and support their children and put them through school, we need to have people be employees. We need people to have health insurance. Hopefully we need them to have pensions. Most of us on this call are lucky that we have the Western Conference of Teamsters pension, but a lot of people don't. We need to push that, and we need these people to be employees, and we need to get out of this concept that they're pushing through in these commercials you see every 3 minutes if you watch any television at all, and on the radio and on Facebook about I need my job and Uber has been good to me and I'm a student. It's all BS. The people, the drivers we know that they're better off as employees, and we have to defeat this proposition. Everybody's worked so hard so far. And I'll reiterate what President Hoffa said, get your ballots in. In California, you've been mailed ballots, mark them, get them in. and don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't leave it on the top of your refrigerator and then November 4th, find it and say, oh my God, I didn't send it in. Doesn't do us any good November 4th. Please vote, and thank you all for being on this call this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rome. Thanks for being with us. And now, before our next speaker, we're going to see one of the commercials which has been airing for No on 22. As we know, the bad guys, the Yes on 22 folks, have $200 million to flood the airways with deceptive ads. Here's one of the No on 22 commercials. Hopefully you've seen it.
Taking California for a ride. Companies like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, breaking state employment laws for years. Now these multi-billion-dollar companies wrote deceptive Prop 22 to buy themselves a new law, to deny drivers the rights they deserve. No sick leave, no workers' comp, no unemployment benefits. Vote no on the deceptive Uber, Lyft, DoorDash Prop 22. One ride California doesn't want to take.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, our next speaker is the president of the LA Federation of Labor, also head of Local 396, and a great leader on this and so many other issues. Want to turn the floor over to Ron Herrera.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. General President Hoffa, welcome, and thank you for all that you're doing for California Teamsters. I really, really appreciate it. To my Joint Council President, Randy Kamak, and to Joint Council 7 President, Roma Lois. Not to be repetitious, but I've broken my presentation down into several components that I would like all of us to think about. And that's to know the wealth of Uber and Lyft and how it affects Teamster jobs, but mostly how it will affect you, your job, your family, because that's what this is all about. And what do we do to defeat this? And how do we GOTV? I know the Chamber of Commerce, when they're against us, they say that a bill in legislation is called a job killer. Well, this is a Teamster killer. Industries like UPS, sanitation, freight, Costco, grocery, and warehouse on the private side will definitely be affected. And we can't risk losing those type of jobs in our institution. But just a little bit of facts, okay? Uber priced its initial public offering at $45 a share this past Thursday. They have a valuation of about $75.5 billion. If you combine Ford and General Motors, Uber Lyft is actually more wealthy. They're more wealthy than Goldman Sachs, which is incredible. And they're significantly larger than Tesla. $180 million was put into a bill that they basically wrote with Instacart and DoorDash. So you have to understand this. This is classic people over profits to defeat this thing. So no Social Security, no Medicare, no unemployment, no workers' comp, no sick pay. I say no on 22. I can't encourage you more to get out, form committees, and get this proposition defeated. Thank you very much, Jason, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Ron, for all you're doing on this and so many other issues. All right, our next speaker comes to us through the miracle of Zoom and video. We had a big rally in San Francisco in front of the Uber headquarters on Thursday. And our brother Gilbert Prieto from UPS, a Teamster steward and leader from UPS, gave a rousing speech. I thought we ought to see it today at our rally today. So here it goes.
I plan on retiring with that. In order to maintain a good job, major corporations got to where they're at today because of the workers. All right. Hardware stores, grocery stores, dry cleaners, diners, they have managed to follow basic workplace laws. Yet, the creative disruptors in Silicon Valley who run Uber and other big companies, they can't make the that everyone else does. Instead, big companies are urging Congress and state lawmakers to create a new category for the worker without full protection, not even the minimum health care. Uber and Lyft drivers have been found to make poor wages after expenses. DoorDash delivery workers have struggled to get their tips. None have the power to set their rate of pay or most any other term of employment. These companies have spent close to $200 million promoting this greed. App-based business models are innovative. Exploiting workers is not. Prop 22 exploits workers. Brothers and sisters, I ask one last thing before I wrap it up. I want Uber to hear the strength of the working force. 1, 2, 3. Fuck Prop 22!
All right, thank you, Gilbert. That was tremendous, and it was. I have to say that it was so fantastic to be out there with thousands of people in the middle of Market Street in front of the Uber headquarters, and the highlight was the Teamsters truck parked diagonally across Market Street with the Teamster horsemen and their bikes. The Teamsters made a big impact there, and we showed our strength and our power. The Teamsters are making the difference in this election. We have 250,000 Teamsters in the state of California. We have 750,000 Teamster household members in California. If we all get out and vote, if 3/4 of our members, 75%, no on Prop 22, we are going to win this thing. We need to do this. This is life or death for our union. You know, these deceptive ads and these companies, these billionaires have spent more than anyone has ever spent in the history of California on this proposition, close to $200 million. And I'll tell you, $200 million buys a lot of bullshit. If you look at these ads with these paid actors or drivers that are paid to get on there and tell these lies, you could see why people may be fooled. But this comes down to nothing more than greed. These companies are trying to buy a law which would allow them to continue to exploit workers, which would allow them to violate basic employment rights, which we have all fought for a century. Overtime pay, minimum wage, health and safety, workers' comp, unemployment, all the things that every worker deserves, these billion-dollar corporations want to get out of providing. And that's all that this is about. This has nothing to do with flexibility or technology. As my brother Gilbert said, these apps and their technology are innovative, but exploiting workers, that's not innovative. That's as old as the hills. And there's nothing that says that Uber and Lyft and all these other greedy companies can't treat people with respect, give them rights of employment, and still have flexibility. There's nothing in the law that says they can't be flexible in scheduling, that they can't be part-time, that they can't let people work in between school or other jobs. It's all a deception. We got some we got some questions from members that I want to address. Some people have said, well, the company says that the Prop 22 has critical benefits in it. Well, let me tell you what those critical benefits are. It's a total deception. Prop 22 says that they have to provide very, very minimal health coverage, very, very minimal 401k style plans. Well, there's nothing saying they can't do that anyway. They've been in business for years and they've never provided anything for these workers. They don't need this $1 million law to do any of that stuff. Let them do it today. Let them, if they're so generous and they want to help their workers out, let them provide those benefits right now. They don't need this law to let them do it. It's just a total deception on the electorate. But we're going to get out there and tell our members the truth, and we're gonna beat this thing with the truth. I want to show you just. All right. So what is Prop 22? All Prop 22 does is it eliminates every single right that drivers would have as workers, because they would call them independent contractors and give them no rights. They would have no minimum wage, no health care, no pension, nothing. And so the problem for us as Teamsters is we've got Teamster employers that are following the rules, that are bargaining with us, that are providing under collective bargaining agreements, fair pay and benefits. How are union employers going to compete with these app-based companies that don't have to provide any rights or any pay or benefits to their workers? And what's to stop our Teamster employers from trying to adopt this model and kicking us to the curb when they're trying to compete? So Prop 22 creates an unfair advantage for these companies so they don't have to follow labor laws. It shifts the burden to taxpayers so that when workers get sick or hurt or unemployed, that the government has to cover them. And in fact, just recently during the COVID epidemic, the government had to kick in millions and millions of dollars to provide unemployment benefits for gig workers because these companies haven't paid their share, and it's just not right. Let's hear what the members of, I think this is Local 150, have to say about Prop 22.
Hi, I'm Greg Kumala, Teamsters Local 150. I'm voting no on Prop 22 because it allows corporations to take advantage of their workers.
I'm sick of gig greed. Vote no on 22. My name is Pauli, Local 150. Will you help me fight big business and vote no on Prop 22? Vote no on 22!
I'm Adam Padilla. I'm asking if you will help me fight big business and corporate greed and voting no on Prop 22.
My name is Tom Asher. No on 22.
I'm voting no on Prop 22.
All right, thanks to the members of Local 150 for putting those videos together, and our members have really stepped up, and we're talking member to member to our folks to make sure they all get out and vote no. We're doing it in every platform, including social media. Get on Facebook, talk to your Facebook friends, make sure you're all voting no on 22. So what's at stake? As you can see, as Randy mentioned, Teamster jobs are at risk here. If these companies pass Prop 22, they're going to continue to try to spread this model of app-based exploitation into every industry and every state in the union. They've already got plans to pass similar propositions in other states. And many of our existing Teamster employers are looking at or have already acquired some app-based companies to try to follow this model. And you can see here some of the companies that, and if you've got some background noise, please go on mute. We've got getting some background noise, so please, everybody, if you're not muted, please mute. Okay, so you can see on here some of the companies that these app-based companies, they're getting into logistics, they're getting into waste, they're getting into every industry where you have Teamster jobs. And these are billion-dollar companies that are spending this money, as other speakers have said. So what's the answer here? Well, they've got millions of dollars, but we've got the members. And even after all their deceptive ads, latest polls show that this thing is very, very close. The last poll we saw, only 39% yes, 35% no, and most importantly, 25% are undecided. And when we talk to our members, we find that many of them are confused by the TV ads and their deceptions. But when we explain just a little bit about these, about this proposition and what it's really about, we find that our members very quickly understand that they need to vote no on Prop 22. So I'm gonna now show you a couple of these ads that are now hitting the airways, the No on 22 ads that are telling the truth about Prop 22. But first, Doug, I'm gonna make you co-host so you can help with the background noise. Okay, thank you, Doug.
I'm Jerome Gage. I'm a full-time Lyft driver. When this pandemic first started, I bought my own PPE because Uber and Lyft didn't provide it. These companies have been exploiting drivers like me for years. Now, Prop 22 denies us basic rights like unemployment benefits and sick time. Uber and Lyft are billion-dollar companies, and they still won't let drivers get access to unemployment benefits. That's just wrong. Tell Uber and Lyft to stop exploiting their drivers. Vote no on Prop 22.
All right, I'm glad to see that the truth is getting on the airwaves. Next, we're going to hear speakers, leaders, and members out of our different industries in the Teamsters that are threatened by this proposition. And we're going to start with Lou Villavazzo from the head of Local 630, who also was our leader in negotiating the grocery contracts and has been doing a tremendous job. And I understand Lou is right now with us, with his members voting a contract. So I'm gonna, Lou, are you on? Looking for Lou.
Hello, can you hear us?
All right, yeah.
Hey, Jason, can you hear us? Here, give me that.
Yeah, we hear you.
Hey, Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. I've got some background. Yeah, go ahead.
Here, Lou, look into this one. All right. Hey, good morning, brothers and sisters. I can barely hear you, but just want to let you know, my name's Lou Villalbazo with Teamsters Local 630 in Los Angeles, California. And as you can see right now, behind me, I got a bunch of brothers and sisters here from Cisco that are here to inform you that we need to vote no on Prop 22, okay? We got too much at stake in California and across the country to let corporate greed take over and let them buy their own laws. That's what they're doing. They're buying their own laws, okay? This is already a law that was established, okay? And it's a shame that we have to go through this process, but here it is. And you know what? This is exactly what democracy looks like. Look behind me. These are all hardworking Teamsters. They're here. They're all here supporting all of you and Southern California.
Hey.
Bravo. A seat at the table matters. Hey, sisters just voted on a contract that's going to protect their wages, their pension, their health and welfare for 6 years. Right, guys? And the reason is because they have a voice at the table. Prop 22 takes that away from them. It takes it away. This big gig economy, Amazon, Instacart, Lyft, Uber, that is all a sham. What it is to convert these workers into, what do you call it, independent contractors, where they don't qualify for workers' rights. These corporations don't pay into Social Security and other benefits for workers. They take away the social fabric for all workers in Southern California. So what we're telling all our Teamsters brothers and sisters to do here is we're gonna vote no on Prop 22. 1, 2, 3. And when Teamsters vote,
Teamsters win.
When Teamsters vote,
Teamsters win.
brothers and sisters, I ask you, I plead with you, go out there, talk to the community, talk to your family members, get out the vote, because we can't compete with them with money, but we can beat them with numbers. We have the numbers. Collectively as labor, we're gonna be able to defeat this proposition and take back California. With that, Jason, thank you to all of you on Zoom. I ask you guys to continue to support and vote no on Prop 22. Get back to you, Jason.
All right. Teamsters.
We're
Wow.
gonna get back to voting our contract, guys. It's going good, but we're gonna let you go. We'll continue to listen to you guys here on the speed. All right, guys? You take care out there.
All right. Thank you, Lou. Local 360, 630. All right. Well, was that tremendous or what? Well, we thank Lou Villavazzo and all the members for that tremendous showing, and congratulations on winning your contract, and good luck on your vote today. All right. That was fantastic. All right. Our next speaker is the head of Local 350 in San Francisco, Secretary Treasurer John Bouchard. John, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here, Jason. Thank you.
All right, welcome. Go ahead, John.
All right, thanks a lot. And thanks for everybody for joining us this morning. It's tough to follow Lou and Local 630 and with all that energy, but I'll do my best here. So if you've been in the solid waste and recycling industry long enough, you've probably heard the joke or the comment that, oh, you'll always have a job because there's always garbage. And you know, that may be true, but the question is, will there always be good union jobs in the garbage and recycling industry? And Prop 22 threatens those good union jobs because it legitimizes companies like Trash Warrior, which is an app-based collection company operating in the Bay Area that calls itself the Uber of garbage. They're doing our work. They're primarily doing what's called bulky item collection in the industry. They're doing it right under the noses of the municipalities that are contracting with legitimate employers. And they're undercutting those legitimate employers under a business model that hurts working families, and we have to shut them down. And the best way to do this and protect good union jobs in the industry and protect working families is to vote no on Prop 22. So this is a crucial time and a crucial election. We have to strike down Prop 22 because to Rome's point earlier, if it passes in California, it's going to spread throughout the country and it's going to threaten jobs all over the place. And I'd like you to hear from one of our members, Sister Ayanna Banks, who's a Local 350 executive board member. She's also a shop steward, and she's a material handler at Pier 96 Recyclery in San Francisco, which handles all the recycling that's collected in San Francisco. So Ayanna Banks, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Okay. Ayanna.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yes, I'm encouraged. I've already voted and voted my no on Prop 22, and I encourage everyone else to vote no. Me as a single mom, it would affect me tremendously. For one, I would have to leave San Francisco. Right now, Recology is allowing us because there are employee and union company. But if we let people like Uber, the Trash Warriors come in and take our jobs, there'll be hundreds of employees without jobs, because I can guarantee companies like Recology would jump on something like that just to cut the pay for medical, retirement, unemployment, and everything else. So I just like to encourage everyone, if we can get the word out like I've been doing, encourage your co-workers to tell their families no on Prop 22, because it will affect us and it will hit us hard.
Okay, thank you so much, Ayanna, and John Bouchard. And next, we have with us from the transit industry, Stacy Murphy from Local 853, who's also a representative with the Transit Division for IBT. Stacy, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Jason.
All right, welcome. Go ahead.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thanks for having me on the call this morning. I'm going to be introducing to you one of our drivers with MV. She's been with them for 20 years. But before I introduce the lovely Monique, I just want to tell you that I'm a business representative here at 853. And I'm also a regional rep for Passenger Transportation Division. And, you know, working with transit here in the Bay Area and across the nation, it is definitely one of the industries that these rideshare app-based companies are coming after. They are coming after our paratransit work and our school bus work. I was on a call the other night with Oakland Unified School District as a board panel. And one of the things they talked about was putting up these pods already. These little hubs are going to start popping up all over at different school districts here. And although all of our bus drivers are sitting at home collecting unemployment, when I asked her over our meeting, it was open to the public, so everybody was chiming in. But when I directed a question to one of their leaders and asked her who was going to transport any kids showing up at these pods that they were going to be putting up, she told me they were going to be using vans and cars, which completely eliminates union work. Needless to say, when I hung up that night, I was extremely pissed. We've got a large fight on our hands. This company is called Zoom. It's an app-based company. It's woman ran, and they are out to get our school bus work. They brag right now about working with over 130 school districts here in California. So we've got our work cut out for us. I will say that your best tool is your voice. On a personal note, I've got a friend that's a dental hygienist and she is not a Teamster. And I've got her so adversed in no on Prop 22 that she's been telling it to her clients that come in to get their teeth cleaned. So once again, your best tool is your voice. Get the word out, no on 22. And with that, I would like to introduce Monique Prince, who is one of our long-term members, 20 years, and also a steward. Monique, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Good morning,
go ahead.
Monique.
Good
Go ahead,
morning. My name is Monique Prince. I work for MV Transportation. I've been a driver for 20 years. I drive kind of something like paratransit. I think that no is a good vote for 22 because that will take away from my job. I belong to the Teamsters Local 853. I just don't think that that's a good thing. They want too much and taking away from too many people that's serving the same thing that they're doing.
Great, thank you, Monique. And thanks to Stacy as well and to all of our speakers. In a minute, we're going to hear all about how you can make sure to vote and have your vote counted. But first, we're going to see a video featuring an icon of the fight for equality in our country. Check it out.
Uber and Lyft are like every big guy I've ever brought down. Prop 22 doesn't help their drivers, it denies them benefits. 22 doesn't help women. It actually weakens sexual harassment laws, which are meant to protect them. Uber and Lyft aren't even required to investigate sexual harassment claims. I agree with the LA Times, no on 22. Uber and Lyft want all the power. So show them the real power is you. Vote no on Prop 22.
Okay, thanks to Gloria Allred for that. Okay. Uh-oh.
Need a professional logo for your brand? I've used the new Wix logo maker to create one for my startup. I'll show you.
Hi, guys.
Is he on mute?
Okay, sorry about that. Was a YouTube mistake. Can you guys hear me now? All right. Well, we're glad to hear from Gloria Allred. I don't know if we're glad to hear that ad from YouTube. Our next speaker is Susan Sachin from the State Federation of Labor. You know, Susan and the State Fed and under the leadership of Art Pulaski have really done a tremendous job in fighting Prop 22 and organizing all the unions against this proposition. And Susan has been in the lead on this. I'm going to turn the floor to Susan, who's going to tell us how we can make sure that we vote and that all of our coworkers vote, and most importantly, that our vote is counted. Susan?
Thank you all so much. It is an honor, a privilege, inspiring, and always fires me up for sure to be on with the great Teamsters Union. You all, the work you do every day for your employers, the work that you do in your union to build a union strong, every campaign that we've had to lead in California in recent years, the Teamsters have been out in front, and we appreciate all the great work you're doing. So we thank especially President Hoffa, Randy, Rome, Jason, the great division leaders you had on today, Lou and Stacy and John. Thank you all so much, but also to the great Teamster members that are out there. So just quickly, want to go through, we have power, and we have voting power, we have union power, we have member power, and there has never been a more important year to use it than right now. This is about the future of work. We need 75% plus of our members to vote no to have a chance at winning. We fought big battles. Remember Prop 32 in the past. We were the underdogs. We came from behind. We kicked their ass. We had a big ballot measure on healthcare in California way back in like 2004. We lost literally by a vote in every precinct. So every vote counts, every vote matters, every vote, and especially our members' vote is really power. And two things about the ads and about Prop 22 that weren't mentioned. One, if you see that, probably you've seen the ad of the woman, the single mom. She is a paid actor. She is an actor. If you Google her, she lists her profile as an actor, probably driving Uber on the side. Hard times right now, she's probably unemployed, but many of those folks in those ads are actors. So there is an incredible driver support. Drivers this week went from San Diego through LA. Thanks to Ron Herrera, the great leader of the LA County Fed and great Teamster leader, for all your work. Up through Bakersfield, joined with Pete at their local in Fresno. And then we shut down Market Street, shut it down, which was such a great feeling on Thursday. Also thanks to the Teamster truck, motorcycles, all the drivers that came. It was just an amazing experience, especially during this pandemic time. So just want to tell you, and then the other point to make is that these companies are so deceptive and so manipulative. They have written into the law that it takes a 7/8 vote to ever change it, 7/8. So this law can never be changed, basically. So, you know, the reasons pile up about why we have to vote no on 22. So I just put in chat a number of things, but I want to run through it quickly about voting. First of all, our Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, is great, wants to make voting accessible to everyone. Go to the Secretary of State's website, www.sos.ca.gov. There's lots of information there. This is all in chat if you want to copy it out. Register to vote electronically or postmark your voter registration by October 19th. So that's coming up on Monday, I guess. But you can also register in person on voting day, but you have to register in person. Next, you can track your ballot. I track my ballot and you can track yours too. So sign up on the Secretary of State's website. I got an email that my ballot had been mailed. I'm supposed to get an email when it's received and then when it's counted. Early voting locations. These are all on what Jason has just shared. Early voting locations. Again, there's just crazy people out there trying to do everything they can to undermine this election, putting up ballot collection centers that are not official. So please make sure if you are dropping your ballot off somewhere that it is an official ballot drop-off box. So you can go to, again, Secretary of State's website and also your county Secretary of State, your county voter registrar, and find official drop-off locations. And also you can find official early voting locations where you can go. So Secretary of State and our counties are trying to make this as efficient and accessible as possible for everyone. And then you can also check your voter status. There's a link there. So happy to share this. I think Jason has it. Would also just say, lastly, and this is also in the chat, that we have up on our website all of our great labor councils. And Ron Herrera, thank you so much for your work in leading the charge. We have endorsements up by county. These are mostly the state ballot measures, state, and some of the major local races that labor councils submitted. Democratic process, we're proud of our democracy in the labor councils and all these endorsements. So there's a link to go to, if you're not sure who to vote for, to go to endorsements by your labor council based on the county you live in. And then for the next 2 weeks, we got to be all out. We got to get every vote. We got to fight for every vote. We got to be all out to get our members to vote, their family, friends, and coworkers. So please, please, please share the voting locations and all the voter information. Can you get 10? Can you get 10 coworkers, family, or friends to make sure they vote? And I have my ballot right here. I haven't filled it out yet, but in honor of being with the Teamsters today, I am right now marking no on Proposition 22 right here on my ballot. Let's have a voter party. Let's do whatever we can. We got lots of Zooms. So we got to put good energy into this and know it's about the future of our jobs and work. So mark your ballot, make sure it gets to a safe place, make sure it gets in early. And then the last thing that I'll suggest is I will share this social media post. Please get this out. Social media is really easy. Many people are on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and whatever. So I'm going to share a social media post as soon as I end. If you could go to it, there's lots of graphics like the one that Jason has here, the no on 22. There's also a lot of unions are promoting 15. You can share one or the other, and please post it today. Share it with your friends, family, coworkers, and please ask them to post too. And my email is in there if you need anything from the California Labor Federation. We are honored. Art Plesky, thanks all of you, especially your leadership in waging the fight and helping us lead this, and also for your contributions to the campaign. So again, thank you so much, and let us know if we can be helpful to any of you or your members.
Thank you very much, Susan, for all that you've done on this campaign and for being with us today. I want to point out that Susan and Doug Block, our Joint Council 7 political director, have put a lot of important information in the chat. You can see in the chat that Doug has placed our endorsements from both Joint Council 7 and Joint Council 42. I don't know about you, but when I get my ballot out, I just go and I look and I see what are labor's endorsements. And if I'm unsure about anything, I follow the leadership of our union in my voting. Most important is that we're voting no on 22. Also, if you're interested in phone banking, Doug is going to put the email address for our Teamsters No on 22 Gmail. Can you do that, Doug? And then if you're interested in phone banking, or if you have any questions after this is over, send us an email. And we're set up now. You can phone bank from your own home. All you have to do is we send you a link, and you can phone bank from the comfort of your home with your own cell phone. Also, I want to underscore what Susan said. We're all going to get on our social media, and we're going to send to all of our friends on Facebook, or if you're young and not old like me and you're on Instagram, we're going to do that. Or if you're really young and you're on TikTok, whatever you're on, get on all your social media platforms. Tell all of your friends we're going to vote no on 22. Get all of your coworkers to vote no on 22. Your family, your household members. Together, we're going to make the difference. They are lying their way through this thing with all these ads and their hundreds of millions of dollars that they're spending. But we have the truth on our side, and we've got the members on our side. Our 250,000 Teamsters are going to make the difference in this election if we all get out and vote no on Prop 22. I want us to close this out. I want to thank everyone for being with us, all of our speakers, especially General President Jim Hoffa, for being with us today. I want to thank all of our members. We've had over 300 people that have gotten on this rally at one time or another. If everyone on this rally, and if all of our friends and coworkers and all the Teamsters across California vote no, we're going to beat this thing, and we're going to stop it in our tracks, and we're going to save our jobs, because the future of the Teamsters Union, the future of working people, and everything that we've fought for the last 100 years is on the line. So I know that we're going to make the difference and vote no on 22. So now, can one of our co-hosts, can we unmute everybody? Is that something we can do? So I don't know if that's something we can do. Okay, if everyone can, if you want, you can unmute yourselves.
Yeah, people need to unmute themselves, Jason.
Okay, yeah, right. I've asked all to unmute because, okay, we're all going to unmute. It's going to be very noisy. But when I say Prop 22, you say no. Prop 22. Prop 22. I said Prop 22, you say no. Prop 22. No.
Six members voted no on 22.
42 from local 853.
On 22.
No on 22.
Local 150, no on 22.
42 says no on Prop 22.
Chance.
Start
No on 22.
Local 6
on 22. No. All right, thank you, Teamsters. Thanks for being with us. We're going to vote on Prop 22. We're going to beat this thing. Thanks for being with us.
Let's make this happen.
on 22.
No on 42. JC7, let's make it happen.
All right, thanks everybody.
No on 22.
No on 22.
No on 22.
No on 22.
What's that doing with Who's stopping you to work in the Bay Area?
Yes.
No on 22. Rally's out of control.
22.
All right, that does it for our program. Thanks to everybody for being on. Let's get out there and vote no on Prop 22. Teamsters vote, Teamsters win. Let's make the difference. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Let's bring it home, Teamsters.
Teamsters strong.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.